Okay, so just recently I found this book, Days of Our Lives, 45 Years. I used to be into this show for years. I was subscribed to Soap Opera Digest. I bought like all sorts of merch for Days of Our Lives. I had a calendar. I can't remember what else. I was also in Young and the Restless and Passions. But this was my favorite. I started watching it in 4th grade with The Cruise of Deception. And that's the character Hope, played by Christian Alfonso, gets put in a cage with Toscano, and they fall into a pit of acid and they die. But of course, Hope comes back several years later. But anyway, I found this and I wanted to pull it out just to see some of the actors and characters that I liked back in the day. And I also tried to look up where they are now. Of course, we have Bo here, who I love Bo, but I was more into the teen scene back then. So we have Kyle Lowder here. He played Brady Black. John, and I think it was Isabella's son, and he played by Kyle Lowder. And I read that he's actually like a newscaster or something now. I think maybe in Arizona. Here's Sammy. She's pretty popular on Hallmark Channel now. She was like the host of The Biggest Loser for a while. Here's some of their favorite couples. Carly and Bo were a thing for a while. Then we have, it says Bo and Hope. Oh, sorry. Then we have Kayla and Patch. I didn't watch it when they first got together, but I believe their history is kind of, I believe, like, if I remember right, his character raped her character, but then they ended up falling in love and they got married. And here we have Austin and Carrie, who I just love. And this is actually, let's see. Oh, Jack and Jennifer down here. I love them. And then we have Bo and Hope again. Okay, here is one character. Once I saw him, Chad Demira, because I was like, who is this? So I actually had to look it up. And he played Chad Demira, E.J. Demira's younger brother. I can't remember. I think Kate and Stefano was his dad and mom. I can't really remember. But Casey Von Diedrich or something is his name. I can't remember what it said he's up to now. But all these memories came flooding back once I started looking up these characters. And if you watch Days, I'm sure they will to you. Here is Melanie. Sorry, I already forgot her character's name. Melanie, and I just think she's really pretty. She was Daniel Jonas's daughter. I had to look that up too because I was like, I recognize her, but I don't know who she is. Then I had to look up Daniel Jonas because I was like, well, who's that? And he was a doctor at Salem Hospital. Here is Brady, played by Eric Marstoff. Wait a minute, didn't we have Brady earlier? So this must be a separate Brady. Or was the other one Eric? I don't know. Anyway, this is Brady. I can't remember what he's up to either. This one, I think she is like one of the most beautiful people in the world. I've always thought that. Nadia Bajorlin, I think is how you pronounce her name. She played Chloe. And believe it or not, when she first started on the show, she played like the nerdy girl that, you know, no one liked and they made fun of her. Especially Phillip's character. Here's Chandler Massey, played by, or Chandler Massey is the actor's name. He played Will. And I believe he was, I know he was the son of Sammy, but I can't remember if the dad was Austin or Lucas because it's Soap World. So the dads are, you know, always changing. Oh, the baby was switched at birth and it's actually this person. Here's Galen Gearing. He plays Rafe. He's a cop. And he actually was on Passions before this. And when Passions got canceled, he came over to Days. And I cannot remember the character's name. He played on Passions, but I just know the last name was Lopez Fitzgerald. Because there was a Teresa who was his sister. And I think Miguel was his brother. But I can't remember his name. He may have been a cop on that show too. It's been a while. I don't know. Here's E.J. DeMera, who I was talking about. He was one of the bad guys. So bad. But he also got involved with Sammy. Like, I don't know. And like I said, I don't know what's happened to a lot of these characters, or if some of the characters I've found are still on the show. However, they're usually played by different actors. Here is Daniel Jonas, that doctor I was talking about earlier. Yeah. Not too bad to look at. Not at all. I found out he's actually married to an actress that was on this show, who I will show you in a few minutes because her picture will show. This is Phillip. This is the Phillip I remember. I think there's a different Phillip on there now, but this is one I remember, J. Kenneth Johnson. And I thought he did really good. That's the Phillip I know, anyway. Oh, here's another Daniel Jonas. Obviously, I must have really liked him because I flagged 2 of his pictures. Okay, here. This is who he's married to in real life. In real life, he's married to Ariane Zucker, right there. The blonde. They're married in real life, which I had no idea. That I thought it was kind of cool. And then this is Melanie, the one that played his daughter on the show. Not her daughter, though. I can't remember who her mom was. Soap World is always so funny. Here is, I think her name is Shelley Hennig, and I've actually seen her in stuff since. She was in some movie with Adam Devine that I love. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like kind of like a time travel movie, like How We Met or something like that, which he keeps going back in time to try to when he meets this girl, have her fall in love with him and stuff. But anyway, and this is Kayla. She's married to Patch on the show I showed you earlier. And I'm trying to remember, I think her character Stephanie was their daughter. I don't remember, but she's really pretty too. Then one of the last pages I flagged was just, if you watch Days, you'll recognize these. Every Christmas, they hung these ornaments on the tree with their names on them, the characters' names. They would all get around the tree and hang up their ornaments, which I looked up, and they still do that on the show. The show actually isn't available on, they don't play it like on TV anymore. It's only on streaming on Peacock. And I tried watching it once. No, I could not get into it. It was so ridiculous. This was probably about a year or 2 ago. The guy that played Abe is still on it. And I don't know if he's dating or if he's married to this lady or what, but she was actually on 227 back in the day. That's where I know her from. Jackie is her real name. She played Sandra on 227. And, okay, on Days, they were like, in a different country, they were like on a hunt for some rare diamond or something. Yeah, it was really weird. It was, and there were other people that were also on the hunt for it, but they were characters I didn't know anything about. And I liked it back in the day when it was more romancy, like, oh, this person is, getting with this person. They broke up because of this. And, I didn't want some treasure hunt about a diamond, especially when it's characters I didn't really care about. And just after, like, I didn't even show you Belle and Sean because they're not in this book. But when I think of Belle and Sean, Sean is Bo and Hope's son, Sean Douglas. When I think of him, I think of Jason Cook. He's this actor when they were teenagers. That's who played Sean Douglas. And Belle, who is John Black and Marlena's daughter, played Belle. And that was played by Kirsten Storms. And she's gone on to do a lot of stuff. But that's who I always think. Now there's, I think her name is Martha Madsen and Brandon Beamer. I don't think they're still on the show, but that's who's played them like for years. And they played them for a little while I was still watching, but I could never get over the original Sean and Belle. This Sean and Belle just never, did it for me. And I know my Days of Our Lives, fandom card should be taken away for saying this, but I did not like John and Marlena. They always got on my nerves how Marlena could do everything wrong, but yet everyone still loves her. And I didn't grow up with Marlena in the show either. When I started watching the show with the Cruise of Deception, the guy that plays, it's so confusing, the guy that plays Roman, and the guy that plays John Black was Roman Brady. And he was married to Isabella. And that was like the ultimate romance couple. Then, a few years later, the actress Deidre Hall that plays Marlena came back on the soap, and they just kind of wrote Isabella off. And Marlena took over, and then they changed his character when he was playing Roman. They changed it to John Black. It's like he got his brain, I don't know, he got brainwashed or something. I can't remember the whole deal was. But I did not like that. I was like, wait a minute, he belongs with Isabella. And just how cheesy Marlena is. She talks all breathy. He calls her Doc. And I don't know. It was just, I did not like it. It seemed like I was fast forwarding whenever they were there. They were not, I did not like them. Drake Hodgson, who plays John Black, has since passed away, and he was a good actor. When he wasn't in scenes with Marlena, I kind of liked him. But anyway, that's my dive down Days of Our Lives lane. Did anyone else watch that? And did anyone else, the teen scene is what I was really in. I did read that there was a Last Blast, because that was what it was called, the Last Blast, like dance. That was like when they were graduating high school. That's what it was called. And I read that there was a Last Blast online reunion, like episodes, like 10 years, like 2012 or something. And they were only like 7-minute episodes. But I was like, what? I didn't know about this, but you can't find them anywhere online. So if anyone is watching this out there and you can find those online, let me know where they are. I'd love to watch them. I mean, I don't know. I wish I could go back and watch all those episodes, those classic ones that I grew up watching. Or not grew up, I was in my 20s watching it. Because those, were fun. I used to make a deal with myself. You can't watch the episode unless you're working out. So I lost a ton of weight because I was so invested in these stories. I wanted to watch them. So I had to work out. And now that the show's no longer interesting, look at me. No longer losing weight. I need to find another show. Anyway, I guess I've wasted enough of your time and mine.